Welcome to another episode of Speak to the Gynecologist. Today's video will be on adenomyosis. Uh, I'll have to explain what adenomyosis means because there are two conditions that are related. One is adenomyosis, one is endometriosis. The etiology is about the same. But let me start by explaining what happens in the body. Like I said, a woman's womb has an inner line. The innermost lining is called the endometrium. It grows every month, and if the woman doesn't get pregnant, it sheds. That's the menstruation you have. It goes down through the vagina into the outside. But in some people, not all of it goes down. In some people, part of it invades into the muscle of the uterus and stays there and continues to react to the hormones in there, making the uterus larger. In other cases, we have what you call retrograde menstruation, where the part of the lining goes through the tube and sheds into the abdominal cavity, causing symptoms. So today we're dealing with one of it. Adenomyosis means that part of this lining, which should have shed completely out, for some reason finds its way into the muscles of the uterus, the myometrium. And these linings respond to the hormones being produced every month during ovulation and behave the same way as the one inside the womb. They swell up after ovulation, and if a woman doesn't get pregnant, they shed and bleed. For a normal woman, it comes outside as menstruation. For the woman with that adenomyosis, because some of these glands are already inside the muscle, all these processes of shedding and bleeding occurs into the muscles, causing inflammation, fibrosis, and making the uterus become larger. And these are the things that cause the symptoms. So adenomyosis principally is the lining of the womb, which should have come out during menstruation. Part of it comes out, but part of it finds its way into the myometrium. Myometrium is the muscle layer of the womb. And because they react to cyclical hormone changes in the body, when a woman is menstruating and shedding, they are also shedding. But unlike in normal cases, the blood doesn't come out. The blood collects inside the muscles, makes the muscles to swell up. And this happens every month. So with each passing month, the womb gets bigger, there's more inflammation, there's more discomfort, and there's more pain. So that's why women with adenomyosis tend to have constant pain in the uterus. So the symptoms are usually, because the womb is bigger, so they tend to have heavier menstruation. And sometimes bleeding is more prolonged. They tend to have menstrual pain, which continues after the menses, what we call chronic pelvic pain. Because the womb is large, soft, boggy, and inflamed, they have pain during intercourse, what we call dysmenorrhea. And this goes on because there's no relief. This pain never goes away because the cause of the pain is the enlarged uterus. And because the processes continue every month, the uterus gets bigger, more inflamed, and the discomfort gets more intense in such women. And it's a common cause of chronic pelvic pain. We don't really know why this happens because there's no real cause. There's no environmental or racial, what we call predisposition. It occurs the same in everybody. It affects about 20% of the female population. In our part of the world, in Nigeria, it's underdiagnosed because 70% of our women live in rural areas. They don't have access to good hospitals with imaging. And in most cases, the pain is normalized. The woman gets used to the pain, accept that she has pain all the time, and she just lives with it. But those in those in urban areas can see doctors. And the most important investigation for this is an ultrasound scan. It will show you the enlarged womb and show you the features in the muscles that suggest that this is adenomyosis. The symptoms, this affects fertility. It causes some fertility, but some women still are able to have children. But the problem is that there are more complications with pregnancy. One, there can be early miscarriages in such women. We're not very sure why it happened, but we believe because of the distorted nature of the muscles. Implantation is probably suboptimal. So they have miscarriages. They tend to have premature labors. They tend to have small for babies. That's babies that are smaller than their gestational size. And after delivery, they are more likely to have what's called postpartum hemorrhage because the womb is so bulky, it doesn't contract very well. There are doctors who attend to such people make preparations to make sure that you're proactive. You don't want bleeding to occur. There are things we do when we now suspect that you're high risk for postpartum hemorrhage. Otherwise, this might bleed quite a lot and it's difficult to control it. Treatment, anything that reduces hormone production. If you put a woman on the pill blocks the ovaries. And once you don't ovulate, the lining does not grow that much and it will not shed. So because it does not shed, that those cyclical changes occur in the muscle in the womb will reduce. So the pain might reduce for a while as long as the woman is on the pill. But it's difficult if the woman is trying to get pregnant and not put her on the pill. So that's what happens. So those who are more prone to endometriosis, adenomyosis are women in the later part of reproductive life between the age of say 35 and 50. These are women who've had children. These are women who've had children, and these are women who may have had operations because we believe that when you have cesarean section or things like DNC, open avenues through which this endometrium finds its way into the muscle. So the more sections you have, the more the likelihood that you might have endometriosis. The more DNCs you have openings through which the endometrium finds its way into the muscle of the womb. So using a hormone treatment can give you temporary relief. You can put the intrauterine contraceptive that contains hormones. It reduces the growth of the lining of the womb, which equally helps to ameliorate the severity of the disease in the muscles. But the radical cure for it is hysterectomy, where you remove your womb and remove the tubes and the ovaries. So without the ovaries, there will be no more hormones. And when you remove, because this condition affects only the womb, it doesn't affect any other organs. So if you remove the womb with the ovaries, then you will not have any recurrence. You might have menopausal symptoms, but it can be treated with hormone replacement. So you can get relief from hormone treatment, but the radical cure is total hysterectomy and bilateral oophorectomy and subpijectomy. So that is the treatment for adenomyosis. If you like the video and you have questions or comments, please make them. I'll try and reply to them in the next video. Or you can contact me with any questions you have. I'll reply to them. Thank you very much.